So how are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And always feeling on top of the world, feeling
Yeah.
happy. Yes, yes.
Um, so now you've been doing a book tour. I know I've seen some of your speaking events that have been going on. How's that been going for you?
It's not a book tour yet. It was just a launch. It was the launch of the book event, which I just did for the launch. So
Okay.
that was on Saturday. So you saw all those bubbles and all those. That was the
Yeah.
launch of the book,
Yeah.
which some of
Okay.
my good friends came aboard and and join in. But after doing that, of course, I will have Paksan. Paksan will be Paksan is another department store group. They also have invited me to talk about my journey.
Good.
Mm-mm. Yes, yeah.
And the
So
name of the book is
I have
Unleash the Superwoman in You.
yes, it is
So,
yes.
tell us about this. Now, is this is based on your your past, your personal experiences?
It's based on my journey, my own personal journey, how I started when I was, you know, thinking that in life that you must have it all. To be good means you must be a good career woman, a good mother, a good chef, a good business lady, mentor your staff, build your brands. And I did it all. And then I realized that something is missing. I felt a sense of something emptiness. And I said, what's wrong? And that was further echoed in 2019 when my Dr. Rupi, my gynecologist, did my blood test and said, Jean, you're no more pre-diabetic. You are diabetic now. And that really gave me a shocker. So then I realized that, oh my God, I don't want to be a diabetic because my PA, the mother died within 1 year because she was diabetic. She had a cut on her toes and never could recover. Then my sales executive, the father had the leg amputated, diabetic as well. So then I say, what shall I do? So I went to study the cause. I want to know what's the root cause of my problem. Then I
Right.
realized that it was the food I eat. I love all the starchy food because Malaysian food, you have the rice and then you have the nasi lemak, you have the sambal, you have to eat with more rice. And I just eat, do my work, eat, travel, eat, enjoy the food without enough exercise, without movement and all that, not enough. So then I realized I have to understand my roots, then I have to take action. So the action I did was I didn't take any medication. I didn't take anything. I changed my mindset. I changed the way I look at myself. What am I? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me in my heart, in my mind, in my everything? I seem to be having everything, and yet something is missing, and my health is going down. So when I changed that and I relook into how food is, so I relook into the relationship of me and the food, relationship of me, relationship of me within my heart, my mind, my spiritual. I did a transformation. So that transformation has come from within yourself. And that's when first of all, the first thing I had to do was food. Then I realized what you eat is what you become. So what kind of food must you eat? I Google, I research, I did all that. Then I found out that clean food to go clean. So I eat more clean food. And then I still like my nasi lemak, I still like my samba, but I did it with a twist. I twisted it to make it more healthy. So you can still eat your favorite food, but you do it with a twist to make it more healthy, yet tasty. So these are the things I did. And then to also look for more time for myself. What I can delegate, I delegate out. Don't take everything on your own. Delegate it out. So I did a lot of delegation out. And also when I'm cooking, look for cooking tools that would help you to cut down your time. Yeah, so like the pressure cooker, the thermal cooker, all that helps me to just cook with minimum time and yet giving you the best results. Because I still feel that um, cooking is important because I help the cancer. And then during that journey, I also helped during the lockdown, while I'm going through my journey towards wellness. Then I met up with the president of Pink Ribbon Wellness Foundation, and she told me that 3 key reasons why the young are having breast cancer, mainly young, in the 20s. Then I said, why? Malaysians in the East Coast, in KL and so forth, in Kuala Lumpur. She said, Jean, number one reason is processed food and fast food. Number two is overthinking and lack of sleep, and also lack of exercise. And number three is, of course, smoking and drinking. So I said, number one, I'm in the cookware industry, and that's where I can help. So that's why we came up and devised ways. Because most people say, Jean, you can talk to cook. I'm a busy person. I'm working and all. Where I got time to cook? So then we come up with cookware that can help you to cook just with the press of a button. And recipes is simple, and yet is tasty and yet healthy. So this was the journey I went through. The challenges I faced became a business in itself as well, because you can create things that would help others. So then many people said, after the 2019, 2020, everybody said, Jean, what happened to you? Why you look 15 years younger? Why you look so much slimmer? Why you look so much more like your complexion is blossoming? What's happening? Then I said, really? Then I really look at myself and say, So this was the bonus factors that came to me when I went on the wellness journey. So the wellness journey gave you a lot of bonuses. So then when all these people asking me this, so I said, maybe it's time for me to write a good book called Unleash the Superwoman in You. Actually, I wrote the wellness journey. And then Peng Jun was the internet master, told me, Jean, don't call it wellness journey because too many people are writing all these health books and all that. Call it the Superwoman in You. Then I said, wow, Superwoman in me sounds so arrogant. So I talked to his technical guy, Peng Jun's technical guy called Marcus. I said, Marcus, Peng Jun asked me to write the Superwoman in You. It sounds so arrogant. And so I'm so Superwoman, I'm so arrogant. Then Marcus told me, you know what? Marcus told me, Jean, just tweet it, call it Unleash the Superwoman in You. I said, that's good. It's helping others. So that's how the title was changed to Unleash the Superwoman in You. And then I wrote some chapters to sort of fit in. Yeah. So that's how this book was born. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, everything that you said just rings such a bell when we look at because I think that the problems that young people are seeing, and virtually, a good majority of the population of the planet, it all falls under that same umbrella of the poor eating habits, the poor exercise habits, the poor sleep habits. And then at the same time, you've got the body being bombarded by, the toxins and toxicities in our environment, the clothes we wear, the sheets on our bed, if they're not, the car going outside and the air we're breathing all this in. And by not having the proper nutrition, the body simply can't fight all this off.
Correct. I realized that. So to understand that is to have clean food. But yet the clean food should not be something that you feel that, oh my God, I'm on a diet. Should never. And the mindset is very important. You're never on a diet. You only change your relationship with the food. So you eat more clean, eat more fruits, and fruits, not the sugary type. Fruits that is good with lots of vitamins but less sugar. And also, the salad, when I started to eat raw salad, people would say it's so pitiful, Jean, you could eat raw salad. I said, yeah, quite pitiful. But when I started the journey of eating the raw salad, I started by using QP dressing. Then after that, I use a dressing on what you call that, balsamic dressing. And after 6 months, I don't need any of the dressing because I
Right.
discovered I only put nuts, just nuts, walnut, whatever nuts, good nuts,
Right.
just smoke, just sort of, give it a good toast and then put it on top. And you suddenly realize a burst of freshness that come into your mouth. The taste of tomatoes, the taste of carrot, the taste of cucumber, everything tastes so different. And in its own unique taste, it's itself a joy to taste, which I never knew. It's only when you begin to go onto the journey, your relationship with the raw food, the authentic taste of it, becomes so real that you don't need to adulterate it with all kinds of sauces. Yeah.
Right. Well, one of
So
the things that I realized in my own wellness journey was that the food that we both used to eat is so processed, and they're using these, I'm going to call them super salts, and they're using these super sugars and these super sweet additives and your corn syrup and such. And what that does is it numbs down the tongue. It numbs down
yes,
your entire palate. And the tongue, I'm not sure if you know this or not, the tongue rebuilds itself every 30 days. So
I
if you
didn't know
stay
that.
away,
Thanks for sharing.
yeah, so if
I
you
didn't
stay
know.
away from all those processed foods, the tongue will rebuild itself to its natural state. And that's when all of a sudden your carrots taste like sugar sticks. And all these flavors come out because it's no longer oversensitized, and it can do what it's supposed to do. And I mean, food just tastes wonderful now. And it is
Yes,
so,
Ross,
so important.
you are so right. I didn't know. It took me some months before I discovered it. That wow, actually, it's so. What you just
Yeah,
said was just
yeah.
exactly the
So,
journey I went to. Yes.
so let me ask you this, because you said something earlier that struck a chord, is um, that people have to make a change in themselves, and they don't want to go on a diet. You just want to make a lifestyle change, but they have to have that mindset to do it. How did you change your mindset to do that?
You see, number one, Ross, is to understand, always understand, go to the root of your problem. When you understand your root of problem, you got to accept it and say, do you want to change? I ask myself, yes, I want to change. And it's actually the snap of a finger. It just takes a second. You can lie to yourself, I want to change, but you will never do it. You just talk
Right,
about it. Talk is cheap. But when you really want to do it, you feel it and you want to do it, it's just a snap. It's a second and you will change. And when you change, you don't deprive yourself. Like, for example, once a week, I still take a Magnum ice cream. I still have what you call that, what you call the dark chocolate. I still enjoy it now and then, as long as you don't overindulge. So you got to not do away with the joys of life. Yes, 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 yeah, correct, correct. Yeah, the dark chocolate. And then when you go out outings with friends, never say that you're on diet. I never do that because I don't want to dampen them. What you do is you see whatever they order and you take what you want to eat, which you think is more healthy, and then just keep quiet. Just eat, just enjoy it.
right,
But without indulging in the rice, in all the things that is not healthy. Then you just pick the vegetable and some chicken and whatever fish, you just eat it. But without making a big fuss that, oh, you are on a diet, and to let people know that, and then they got to compromise just because of you. I don't do that. With family or friends, when I go out, I just am just what I am, and I just pick up what I want to eat. So when you make it into a lifestyle, when it is just become part of you, it's simple. It is not a drudgery. It's not a sacrifice. It is not at all. It's just like those people when they're smoking and they want to give up smoking. They continue to say, I will give up, I will give up. And then I try a bit, then the friends come, okay, can you try one? You will never give up. But when you come to accept it, and that you don't want to smoke, and that's it, no matter what, you won't smoke. So it's the same thing. We may think it's difficult, but it's not. But the beautiful thing is when you are able to control this not to say word control, but the mindset change towards this new direction. The plus factors that came is that you lose weight in a correct way, because it took me 10 months to lose my weight. I didn't go on a lose weight journey. I went on a wellness journey. But along the way, the 10 months also, I lost 17 kilo. And when I lost a 17 kilo, I tend to look nicer. And I discovered something, Ross. When you lose weight slowly and not fast, you don't shrink. Your skin have chance to go back to its own space. So it's not hanging.
Right.
And because it's not hanging, you don't feel that as though you have aged. Many people say when you lose weight, when you're plump, you will. But because I went on a slow journey, the fats has its own way of finding its own place to be in place. Like me, I didn't go for surgery to make my face thinner. It went back to where I was before. Because one time I was rounded like that, but I went back to this. So it's gradually. So I found a secret, and that is, if you lose weight gradually, you won't have skin hanging around you. It will fall into place. But at the same time, you have to do movement. So I started to do simple yoga. I started to do simple qigong with the spring forest qigong, and I do together with Sadhguru very simple inner engineering on the very simple yoga exercise with deep breathing. So deep breathing is also very important, and also the kind of exercise that will help your spine. Yeah, because as we age, spine is very important. And recently, I also signed up with a personal trainer to build muscles for my legs, mainly for the legs, because I noticed when you move on in age, people who fall down is mainly due to their legs. So to build muscles on my legs, which I just started the journey, just started only. This part is my legs and my hands. Yeah, before that was just qigong and yoga and deep breathing, and at the same time eating correctly. But Ross, when doing all these things, this transformation is not just physical. This is all physical. It has to do with also your mental. Mental means like when you start to tell yourself that you are more than what you think you are, as what you always tell us in Infinity Matrix. It is also a mindset whereby you begin to sort of embrace change. You embrace change not to become worse, embrace change to become much more in every way. Then we also need to invest in ourselves, to read, to attend seminars, to connect with people, like for example, Infinity Matrix, to connect with people that are of like-minded, that can grow you, and to acknowledge mentors that can help you. So I read books. I was with Sadhguru. I listened to Sadhguru. I listened to Master Chung Ilin on the Spring Forest Qigong. I attend Gary and Ross events. And this is where you go. And also I read a lot of books. I read books. I love books. So all these things will help your whole mental change without you realizing. You begin to see yourself transforming. Inevitably you will transform. And when you have to transform, it's also your heart. You got to open your heart to love. I felt that one very important part was to open up your heart to love. When you open your heart to love, you look at the tree, you fall in love with the tree. You look at the plant, when you see a shoot shooting out, the flower blooming, you can't help to find some joy in your heart. And then when you walk in the soil, you can't help. I took soil for granted. But when I joined with Sadhguru and I realized that we are all part of soil, and to soil will return. How thankful I am to have soil to feed us. And when I did a lot of research, and also booklets, but I don't have it here. I did a book on a booklet on I don't think I have it here. Yeah, but I can share it here. Yeah, I have a booklet which I did, but I think I put it upstairs. I've gone through whereby with my business, I do on global warming, I do about healing our planet, and the last one that I'm doing is on from garden to plate.
Oh,
Why? Because
beautiful.
yes, yes. It's a very beautiful booklet. I have to share with you. I have it, but I don't know where I put it. I think I didn't bring it. Yeah, maybe it's upstairs. So, when you check and see whether down there got. See, so when I had the book, let me check and see whether. Yes, I found it. It's called Harvesting Wellness. Yeah, Harvesting
Yeah.
Wellness from garden to plate. From garden to plate. Yeah, and in this book, why I wrote this is because I felt that when I got a connection with soil, and then I Googled to learn more about soil, I found that UNESCO said in 30 years, all the soil will be turned into sand. And when that happens, inevitably famine will come. When famine comes, there'll be war to fight for good soil. And this is frightening. So I wrote this, why so? Why we must take care of our garden? If each and every home that we are in, if we are able to plant our own vegetables, and what the excess vegetable we can share with the community. And if you have just cement floor on your house that you are staying in a condo, you still can have vegetable growing by using what you call tires that's left over, or your old tires. You can put soil in your old tires, stack it up high, and you can put soil, you can grow. Or you can have pellet, the pellet that you take goods, like my office have lots of pellet, wooden pellet. You put a wooden pellet on top, there's holes in between, you put soil in between, you can grow vegetables or herbs. So all this is possible if every house, every home have vegetables growing. When distribution became a problem, when the soil turns into sand, you still can share with each other. But if every home in the whole world can create this, we will have less of this problem. We cannot wait for the government to do it. They're too busy seeing who is better and who is stronger. They don't have time to help us on climatic change. Yeah. So we individuals, small little flies like us can do. So I go to school, international school, I go and talk about climatic change. I give them seeds. I help them to plant trees and everything else. Why? Because we have to do this and we need to shout about this. So my brand called La Gourmet came up with this. So we will give to all our customers to let them know and to become aware how important soil is, especially for the kids that is now 10 years old, 20 years old, or your grandchild or mine, when they grow to be 30 years old, 40 years old, what's going to happen? It's going to be very tough for them. And each and every one of us can make a difference. So that to me is very much a passion of mine as well. Yeah, to go beyond just me alone. We don't need to be super rich. We are comfortable is enough. It's just like you and Gary. You're comfortable. That's why you're doing beyond yourself to uplift us with your knowledge, with your skills. And I have my own too. So I should do the same. Yeah. So by and large is that. Yeah.
You know, I listen to what you're saying, and it just rings so true. I was speaking with I was interviewing somebody who's going to be on our show in the next couple of weeks, and we were talking about a gentleman in I think he worked for the UN. This was like 50 years ago, and I saw this interview with him, and he was the one that was responsible for the slaughter of all the elephants in Africa. And now, I mean, this is a good story because he learned later on how wrong he was. He goes, I thought I knew, but I didn't understand the ecosystem. And that it was actually, so they wanted the elephants gone because they thought that the elephants were destroying the land for the farmers.
I
And it
see.
was the opposite. It was the opposite. The elephants were actually revitalizing the soil. And now he has spent the last 20 years repopulating and protecting elephants in Africa to right his wrong, as he puts it. But what this says to me is that, you know, this planet is a complete interacting ecosystem. Everything that's on this planet, humans, elephants, bugs, bees, birds, they all have a purpose for being on this planet, and they all they work together. Some of them are the sustenance for the for the bigger ones. You know, there's that aspect of it, but there, you know, I mean, look at the bees now. I saw an article where they were talking about they weren't talking about it, they were doing it. They were creating robot bees.
Oh my
It's like
God.
we're creating these robot bees to take the place of the real bees so they can pollinate the plants. And it's like, why are you putting all this effort into that when all you have to do is protect the bees? I mean, is
Yes,
that
exactly.
really that
Yes.
hard? But we
Yes.
have such that we have this mindset, just as you said, we have this mindset, you know, as a society, and that we must advance and technology will rule. When what you've just been saying, and I have been saying, and we both have experienced this in our lives, is that to a degree that technology is killing us. Okay,
It's very true.
we're trying to replace nature with some sort of artificial technology, and we are not that good at it. We're just not.
Yes.
We think we are, but we're not. And it's taken its toll. It's taken its toll on our young. Now we're starting to see it. Now we're starting to see lifespans on a major scale are shortening again. People are dying
Yes.
sooner. People are getting sick
Yes.
sooner. I was listening to a researcher today, and he just said disease is the natural progression of age. I mean, he was just like, that's the way it is. I'm like, no, it's not. It didn't used to be. But the norm for medicine and researchers, you know, they just like, well, this is the pattern that everything is developing to, so that's what we're going to accept. And you have people like yourself, people like myself, people like Gary, and many people that are in our programs and such who are saying, no, we need to change that trend. We need to go
Yes.
back to gardens in our backyards or on our roofs or in our on our decks or in in the pots. We need to go back to looking at food and cooking our own food. But we've created a society where you have generally both parents working. They don't have time. They're like, well, I'm working 10 hours a day. Now you want me to come home and cook? You know, no, I'm just going to stop and grab something. You know, that stopping and grabbing something is killing you. I talked with a guy who was as you said, he was badly ailed from diabetes. And I said, well, you know, you need to give up this, you know, this and this and this. You need to stop eating these types of foods. And he goes, oh, I can't. I'm like, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And he says, I just can't. He goes, then I'll die. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You have children, you know? And he's like, I know, but I don't want to give up pizza. And I'm like, I was, I was just, I, probably for the few times in my life, I was just speechless. I just stood there and looked at this man, just like, that's the most selfish thing I think I've ever heard come out of a human's mouth.
Mm. Yes.
And
And you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Continue. Continue. Yes. Yes. You know, Ross, uh, the most frightening is young people of today, the young girls, young boys, because when they are in college, when they are hungry, what they do is they get instant noodle, especially Asians, instant noodle, open it, put some water, boil it, and that is their meal. And the
yeah,
instant noodle is nothing but all processed food with a lot of additives. And that's why we identify cancer is on the rise mainly because of that.
really.
So so it's easy to cook, easy to this, but it's cheap, and yet it's tasty to them because those who
Right.
love this processed food is very tasty. So so this is the danger, you know, and I myself and my team, my marketing team, we are trying our best to create situation whereby you can so easy, just 3 to 4 days, cook at home with very simple tools. And I'm also working with a chef. That day, I think I shared and Gary shared something with me, whereby we have packed food ready that they can go and grab and then they can cook themselves. So that is another area which we will be exploring soon, to help to make it easier for people, that you don't need to go out and buy your food. You can actually cook it with just 2 or 3 steps, which is very simple steps. Yeah.
Right.
So
So how do
food
you,
is
how, so with
yeah.
that in mind, let's stay with that for just a moment. So with that in mind, how do we change that younger generation's mindset? Because they are conditioned now. Not only are they conditioned by the commercials and the ease and the flavors and such of fast food and such, but they're kind of nowadays taught by their parents because that's what they see their parents doing. So how do we break that cycle?
I think it's very important to get those young ladies who have cancer,
Mhm.
and they have cancer of the breast. The breast has been taken out and so forth. So I know these ladies. I think we need to get them more to talk, more to come out and talk. Why they had cancer, what did they do, what did they eat, and now they are making the changes. So if more of them can talk, they are at that age group, they can talk to those people. Yeah. And we have to do a lot of social media. We have to push it out to let more people, to reach the younger generation that is in the universities, that is in the college. Because we need to touch the people in the college and the universities. So that's why I also work together with Sergi College and Sergi Universities, and also the international schools for children, to talk more. But maybe I don't do enough. I need to go and see the principals to give more talks, so that they be more aware. And then maybe together we can work with the schools and the universities to have more leaflet to be done, with this leaflet done, to create greater awareness for them. And
Have
then
you
we also
go ahead. No, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
we can come up with recipe books that is very simple recipes with the right tools. And if they buy it, we give them a very special price, and they can use this recipe with just a question of the few things. Because people will say, somebody did tell me, Jean, you can give the recipe, but processing food to clean up the vegetables, buy, is a lot of work. So then my next step, which I'm talking to a chef now, how to create this step whereby they don't have to go spend time shopping, they don't have to
Right.
clean the vegetable, but all these things I will work together with another supermarket, a big chain of supermarket. We need to get around to doing this talk, to work together. Chef come out recipe, they come out, the supermarket come out with this, and then they can just go to the app, grab the food, take it back, and they cook. So easy, just with the press of a button. So we got to make it easy for them, that talking is easy, but how they actually to realize, to be able to cook for themselves. That is
Right.
so simple. So this is my next stage that I'm now navigating on how to manage this. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you, I don't know what it's like in Malaysia, but here in the States, you go into some of the elementary schools, you go into some of the middle grade schools and the high schools, and their cafeterias are full of vending machines.
Same here. It's same here.
Okay.
It's all processed
And
food.
yeah, and
Yes.
the here's the kind of the rub of the whole thing, which is what I found out was that the schools are giving into that because the processed food manufacturers and the soda pop manufacturers are giving the school some of the proceeds from these vending machines, and the schools are like,
Yes.
we need that money. It's
Yeah.
not a matter of greed. It's a matter of we don't have the funding that we need. So that's a source of revenue for the school so that we can continue to operate. So again, this vicious cycle begins where
Mm.
you have, schools that are underfunded. So they're going to do anything and everything they can to find
Mm.
revenue. And that revenue comes from the students and also is at the price of those students' health.
So Ross, we can't touch everybody, but what we can do is to do the private school first. the private school where the parents are more concerned. So when we touch the private school and tell these stories, and with the parents being more concerned, so they
Right.
are more affluent, they understand, they have the money, they need to get the children to be well. By starting on that level, not to say that I want to do it just for the rich, but it's easier for with the private school. Because the private school got to sell the idea to their parents that I also give nurturing lessons to your children. I also teach them to be well, to be good, not to have all this. So it's easier to tackle the private school. So once you're able to tackle the private school, you start with that. Make sure we are successful in that first. That is the first step. Then only you can go down the road. But if we start all over, we are here, there, everywhere, and nowhere at all. So we got to go to where is the least resistance. So
That's
I
good.
think in a private school, there is a least resistance compared to a public school. Yeah. So that we can slowly overcome. So I haven't gone enough to that stage, but that is something I would like to venture into. Yes.
What can people that are listening to this, how can they start? What can they do? Do they
The
write
first thing they
letters to
do,
their community? Do they write letters to or go to school board meetings and begin to get involved in the nutrition of their children?
yes, if they can get involved in the parents teachers organization and to talk about that and put the pressure, because there's always a parents teachers organization, and they could put their concern that our children's well-being is not only to teach them education, but what is education? It's not only the mind, it's their emotion and the health.
Right.
Without health,
Exactly.
there's no wealth in any direction. So the parents teachers organization can do a lot to help. But before that can be done, the parents got to understand that. So how do we do that? And that's not easy. So which means community. You got to start within the community, whereby the parents are inside the community, tell them. Then when the parents go to the school, they can tell them. So it's a lot of work, but it can start by baby steps, by spreading to the key people in each of the community. Maybe you can start with one or two community, one or two schools, and that could be set as an example through the press that is in favor of what you are doing. Not every press will be in favor for you because you don't give them the money, but there are some that will be in favor of that. Then they can help you, and marketing for social media. So social media can also help you on that. Or maybe the Greenpeace Society, the Nature Society. See, Nature Society, Greenpeace Society, these are the people that are more into helping this. So we can also get them to also, we have to go to places where they are already along the line, along this, and how to go deeper. So we can help by going to these places first, spreading through here, then only going to the other more resistance level. So we got to start where is least resistance first. Yeah.
So when it comes to the nutrition, maybe you can remind our listening audience, um, you know, all of the benefits of proper nutrition, whether it be from, I mean, it builds your immune system, it builds your health, it builds muscle, it does a lot for the body. What does it do for the mind?
You
What
see,
does it do for a child's brain and in an adult brain for that matter?
okay, you see, when you don't have a body that is functioning well, your mind can't function well. However, it's all interrelated and interconnected. So for the mind, it's about you're on this earth for what? For what reason? Do you just want to live and die? Then I can't do anything for you. But if you're on this earth because you want to know, why am I here? What am I doing? Ask yourself good questions. They have to ask themselves good questions. Who am I? What am I here for? What am I doing? Where am I now? Where am I going? If they ask these 5 questions and they are clear in what they're doing, but if they say, no, I just want to exist and live, okay, fine, goodbye. But if they want to find a purpose in life, which many people want to, it's just that they are not aware that they want to find a purpose in life, because no one has opened it. You'll be surprised. Majority have not opened their mind towards that direction. If you tell them, oh, you mean there is such a thing? Oh, yes, if I think like that, I can find a purpose. That's why I'm born on this earth, to do something more than just eat, live, sleep, eat, live, sleep, and that's it. There's more to me. Oh, okay. When we go to the fundamental, that there is more to me, then it will open up their mind. Yes, I want to know more. And the first thing is, when they want to know more, is how? Very simple. It's all written, all in YouTube, everything. Mixed with the right people, mental thinking, and read the right books and all that. And the very simple thing is just sleep well, wake up, and be happy. If you cannot be that and you want to be miserable, it's your choice. So another next question is choice. What is your choice? You want to be happy or you want to be sad? It's up to you. But if you want to be happy, we can help you. You mean in life you want to be sad and miserable? So tell your mind what you want, not the mind tell you what to do. So if we can tell them, tell your mind what to do and not the mind to tell what to do, you become conscious. So the word is consciousness. Yeah. So this is something that you and Gary are famous for, and you can help many of them. But the fundamental is just that. What do you want? You want to live or you want to die? You want to be happy or you want to be sad? So if they answer that once, I want to be happy, it's very simple. That's it. Yeah. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. I better chat. I can't hear you, Ross. Okay, right.
Mute me?
Now okay. Now I can hear you.
Okay. So we need, where I'm going is that we need the, whether it be children or adults, they need that nutritional foundation, because if you understand, how the brain builds itself and how it works, it has to have proper nutrition. And as you said, proper sleep. I'm a huge fan of good quality sleep. And that's because without that, we're gonna, if we look at the function of the brain, the function of the human body, it's a chemical process. But those chemicals are based off of the nutrients that come from quality food. Or they can get intermixed with the chemicals that are already in processed food.
Mm.
And
Yes.
what I noticed when I made a big switch, my wife and I both at the same time, is that it was like the grass was greener and the sky was bluer.
Yes.
And, like the veil was just taken off, and I'm like, what is going on? Because it was like I was asleep. I felt like I was asleep, and then I woke up.
Yes.
Did you
You
have a
know,
similar effect? Did you have a similar effect when you started your journey?
when I started my journey in 2019, it's not that long ago, when I was declared diabetic and I had to make choices. And I started, as I said, I did learn to discover about the eating clean food and so forth.
Mhm.
And during the process, I suddenly realized that not only my body got clean and I lost weight, but there is a joy within my heart that just opened up. And that is something that you find yourself become more conscious about the greens around you. Everything become more green, as you say. The soil becomes more beautiful. You love it. It is inevitable. You become more attuned with nature. So the processed food,
Beautiful.
too much of that, push you into a very unreal dimension. And when you move back to nature, you become more aware that, oh my God, look at the sun. Every morning, the sun is so beautiful. And then when you stare at the sun, you can even see the sun smiling at you. Suddenly, the sun is yellow, and then it's like one whole round. And then all around it is like as though it has a glow, and then it glows just for you. Every morning I do that, and I see the sun just looking at me, and it's so beautiful. So the whole world changed when you start to move in this direction. It is something you didn't plan. It is something you don't know, but it comes to you. As what you said, it just unravels in itself. Yeah. And it's such a beautiful journey that inevitably you become a more beautiful person. And when you become a more beautiful person, you want to share. You want to share and you want to give to more, because you realize that I have this. Why can't I help those to realize that when they are here on earth, do the best, live the best they can. And to live the best they can in this earth is to, first of all, have a well-being. And if they don't know, and we know, whoever we can touch, we should touch to let them know. Because some of them is not aware of that. They may be a very good human being, but they are not aware why they are, having a black wheel over them because of the kind of food that they're eating. The food can make you have headache, have migraine. I don't have migraine. I have this. I have my staff, they say they have migraine, they have this and that. And it's mainly due to overthinking and the kind of food they eat. See, so when you take away the migraine, it's taking away a wheel of darkness. Yeah. So you had the same journey, I had the same. And we are from different parts of the world. We didn't compare notes until today. So it is the truth. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Ross. Ross, cannot hear. Cannot hear. Cannot hear. Can't hear.
Lost each other again.
Okay. Now I got you back.
Now we're back
I got
again.
you back.
That's all right.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so anyhow, we've kind of come to the end of our time. So can you tell us how people can find your book? Where can they order your book? Do you have a website? How can people get a hold of you and find out more about you and how to be a superwoman?
Yes. Right now, because I just launched it on Saturday, so it will be available in all our shops, kitchen shop, house presentation, La Gourmet shop. And then my producer be putting in the bookshops in Malaysia, and my social media will be putting it out in Amazon. We're putting out in Amazon, and Shopee and Amazon. So it has not gone there, but it will be going there soon. So they can find it. Just give us another few weeks. It will be in Shopee, it will be in Amazon, and in Malaysia, it will be all in the bookshops as well as in all our shops, kitchen shop, La Gourmet shop, house of presentation, my shops. And also now department stores are inviting me to go and talk to their VVIP guests, how I came to be this journey, because they saw me when I was plump and when I today, without all the artificial liposuction or whatever, is natural.
Yeah.
So they see me change over the months and years. So they also want me to give them more talks. So I'll be sharing quite a number of talks to the people here in Malaysia. But the books will be available in Amazon and also Shopee. Yeah. Can't hear you again. Can't hear. Can't hear. Can't hear. Okay. Yes. Cannot hear. Cannot hear. Cannot hear you, Ross. Cannot hear. Can't hear you. Cannot hear.
Now,
Yes, now you're back again. You were in total silence.
I think this is something with our connection through Zoom. So
Yes,
anyhow,
yes.
I just want to say thank you very much for spending some time with me. We're gonna try and get this video out by next week. It's gonna go through editing for some of these problems that we've had. And then I'll send you the link and then when you're ready for Amazon, I'll do another re-release of the interview. So we want this to be a success for you.
Thank
That's what
you
it's
so
all
much, Rose. I love you.
Okay.
You are so
I love you
wonderful
too.
to do that for me. I'm so surprised. I thought you were writing a book and you want to ask me questions about infinity metrics.
Our book is coming out later on in the year, so that'll be good. That'll be great.
Okay. Then you can
Okay,
interview
my
me
dear.
and then I will talk about it. Yes. Okay.
Okay, we will do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
Bye-bye.
Ross. Thank you. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
Gary, as well. Thank you.
I
Bye.
will. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The storm isn't coming. It's here. And most of us weren't ready for this onslaught of trials and tribulations we're currently facing. They require new concepts and new tactics to prepare you for what lies ahead. We want to show you how to unleash the full sum of your entrepreneurial potential, challenging all of your energy, harnessing all of your power into a force of unstoppable momentum. If your growth and continuing evolution of your life are of paramount importance to you, and if you genuinely aspire to make 2023 and beyond the most fulfilling of your life, then it's crucial to make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. We offer you a turning point in your life, in your career, propelling you towards the business success you've always dreamed of. Please, don't miss out on this chance to break free from the shackles of financial hardship. Don't lose this opportunity to elevate yourself to new heights of business mastery. Claim your free VIP ticket now. Get exclusive access to Gary and Ross and seize the $1,600 in bonuses that we've set aside for you. Do it before it's too late. So click on the registration link below and let us support you every step of the way on your journey beyond success.